Hi everyone. Today we are going to be comparing and ordering rational numbers. Let's start by defining rational numbers. A rational number is a number that can be written as a fraction of two integers, as long as the denominator is not 0. Remember that integers are positive and negative whole numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, and the negatives, -1, -2, -3, and so on. So first, all integers, the numbers I just named, are considered rational numbers. So any integer, let's take for example 5, can be written as a fraction of two integers, as long as we put it over 1. And we can do that with any integer, positive or negative. Next, all repeating decimals are rational numbers as well. For example, we studied 0.3 repeating is equal to 1/3. And that is true about all repeating decimals. They can be written as a fraction of two integers. And last, all terminating decimals are rational numbers. A terminating decimal is a decimal that terminates or ends. It does not go on forever and it does not repeat. So for example, 0.75 is a terminating decimal, and we know that can be written as 3/4, or even a bigger one, 0.157. or 0 and 157 thousandths can be written as 157 over 1,000, which is a fraction of two integers. So now we are going to talk about comparing and ordering any integers and rational numbers. We're going to start by looking at the rational numbers listed and plotting them on the number line given. We're going to start by plotting the number 4. And I'm going to put an A above it to label it for 4. And we're going to label and plot -4. Put a B there. Next one, C, says 3.5. And we know that 3.5 is between 3 and 4. Exactly halfway between. So we're going to put a point about in between 3 and 4 and label that point C. The next one is -3.5. So remember that negative numbers are the opposite of the positive number. So -3.5 is the opposite of 3.5. So we know that if 3.5 is right in between of 3 and 4, we know that -3.5 has to be exactly between -3 and -4. So we're going to plot that point right there in between and label that point D. Okay, next we're going to plot 4 and 1/4, which is halfway between 4 and 4.5, and we'll label that point E. And then again, let's think about where -4 and 1/4 would go. Again, it's going to be exactly opposite of what we just plotted. So it's going to fall between -4 and -5, but it's closer to -4 because over here it would be closer to 4. So -4 and 1/4 is about here. And we'll label that point F. Okay, next. G, -2.9. So think about where 2.9 would go if it were positive. It would be between 2 and 3, but it would lie much closer to 3. So when we plot it, it's going to fall between -2 and -3, but again, it's going to fall almost at -3. So that's -2.9, which we'll label G. Okay, H says -0.75. If it were positive 0.75, that falls between 0 and 1. So we know -0.75 falls between 0 and -1. And again, it would be closer to +1 if it were positive. So it's going to lay 3/4 of the way towards -1. Next, -1.3 is going to be between -1 and -2, and not even halfway, so it's going to be closer to -1. Move it over a little bit. About there, that's I. And last, -1.1. So -1.1 is closer to -1 than the point that we just plotted. So that would fall about there. Okay, so the next part asks us to list the points in order from least to greatest using the number line. So least to greatest means smallest to biggest, and on a number line that means from left to right. So first we start with point F, which is -4 1/4. Next is B, which is -4. Next is D, -3.5. Next is G, -2.9. Next is I, -1.3. J, -1.1. H, -0.75. C, which is 3.5. A, which is 4. And E, which is 4 1/4. There we go. So it's really nice to, especially when you have a lot of numbers like this that you're ordering, to think about where they would fall in a number line. Think about which is furthest to the left, which means that it's the smallest, and which is furthest to the right, which means it is the biggest. For number 2, we're asked to compare the following numbers using less than, greater than, or equal to symbols. Let's take a look at A. So remember, when we're comparing two negative numbers, it should be the opposite of what we would do when we're comparing positive numbers. So I'm going to write down positive 2.4 and positive 2.14. If it helps, we can add a 0 here, 2.40 and 2.14. And we can tell that 2.40 would be larger if it were positive. Okay, but because both of the numbers are negative, we know it works the opposite way. So -2.4 is actually smaller than -2.14. If you're to think about this on a number line, -2.4 would fall farther to the left on the number line. We're going to do the same thing for B. One way we could approach this is to make a common denominator. So 4 and 3 could have a common denominator of 12, or a least common denominator of 12. And I would get that by multiplying 1 and 4 by 3 and 1 and 3 by 4. So again, 1/3, if it were positive, would be larger than 1/4. So I know it has to be the opposite, which means that -1/4 is actually further to the right on the number line, so it is the larger number compared to -1/3. Another way to think about this would be to remember that a bigger denominator, when the numerators are the same, a bigger denominator means smaller pieces. So 1/4 is smaller than 1/3, but because they're negative numbers, it means we're moving not as far to the left on the number line. For part C, we have a fraction and a decimal. So one way we could approach this is to convert our decimal, -0 and 8/10, to a fraction, so that would be 8/10. Or another way is to use your calculator and to change -5/6 to a decimal. Remember, we could do that by dividing the numerator by the denominator. So when you type in 5, 6, or 5 divided by 6 into your calculator, you get 0.83 repeating. Compare that to 0.8, or if you want to, add a 0, 0 and 80 hundredths. And again, 0 and 80 hundredths is smaller than 0.83 repeating when we're talking about positive numbers. So when we're talking about negative numbers, it would be the opposite. So negative 0.8 is larger than negative 5, 6 because it is further to the right on the number line.